It's Week 8 of the National Football League, where we'll see this team's burner at wide receiver. He rises when it matters most, and he comes in third in the NFL in touchdown receptions. Hope y'all ready for this one. Next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come into this one fresh off a victory that finally snapped a 6-game losing streak.
And there's nothing like that win that makes everyone happier in the locker room, better on the practice field, and they usually play a whole lot better that next game out as well.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his third season in the league.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
They'll start here with a give to Mixon, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The numbers for Mixon last week, 15 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
And when you lead the league in rushing for this stretch of time, now you take on the identity. You now lead the team, and everything runs through you in terms of offense.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still second down.
Ready up! 60 Maverick! 60 Maverick! Come on, set!
Here's Stroud. Over the middle, complete. That's Collins. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
19 Lions. Go.
Stroud sets up the play action. And that is incomplete. You look at this Colt defense. They enter play 1 from the bottom, number 31 in the league, Charles, against the run.
And that's been an Achilles heel for them all season long, being able to play against the run, being able to slow teams down. But it's not just that. When you give up big chunks of yardage in the running game, it also opens up the passing options for the team you're playing as well. So typically, when you don't play the run well, you're getting hit in all phases.
He'll air this one out for Kirk. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that falls incomplete.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. From the 22 now, here's 2nd and 9. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Richardson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there. Offense is moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they're in a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a 2nd and 10. To the right side, this is Taylor. Ooh, with a juke. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. But you look at this defense. They're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league. Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Colts send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line. The home team's offense, led by their running back, headed out for the second possession. And he's run well here in the first half of the season, no doubt. You can see the graphic. NFL leader in rushing coming into the weekend. They begin with a run by Mixon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Now Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
For many people, that's not your standard play call in that third down situation. But for so many offenses, they just want the ball in the hands of their playmakers in open space. And after he caught it, he did a nice job picking up the first down.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Running left, it's Mixon. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Colts, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. A handoff running left, Mixon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up.
Here we go, set. 19 tight, 19 tight. Track him, 60.
Stroud to throw it. Open man is Kirk, complete.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Stroud. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
Let's go now.
Richardson working from the gun. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Richardson looking to throw this. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Colts post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, You're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you.
Stroud is hit, and the ball is loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And now he's got him in a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or two in this situation.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. On the option left, Richardson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Taylor, and Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Well, if this defense can hold him to a field goal here, what a win that would be. Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and... And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great effort there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this 1st half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And Stroud now to throw. That is caught by Dell. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Throw left side complete. That's Collins. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Quick slant caught by Kirk. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. And it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And his guys are able to make this a close game again.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here. And we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Here's Richardson to throw. This one finds Pierce on the out route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 22 yards there, a first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Richardson looking to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those, but third down coming up. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
The Colts send out their punter. They'll boot it away from about his 35. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Stroud looking to throw. To the right side and caught by Dell. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. A shotgun snap to Stroud. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They're going to get this outside. Oh, this could be a double pass. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Interference. Offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Bison, 65, 19 Lion. Buffalo 18. Mustang 19. Go Street. Check go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's fourth down.
18, Pioneer. Stephanie. Hurt. Right there. Hurt.
They're going for it. Here's Stroud. That's complete. It's Collins. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Now Richardson. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And Richardson back to throw it. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Richardson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be from 56 yards out. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And lots of offense here. 24-14 to count at halftime. Xavier Worthy, 3 first-half touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Minnesota Vikings. The Vikes' hot start continues as they run their mark to 6-1 with a victory there. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. So here are the Colts to take over. They were winners over the Dolphins last week. They are on top right now as well as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Richardson. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%.
Richardson under pressure, and down he goes. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what
And he's going to go down again. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Here's Stroud. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
From the gun on third down, Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That third down conversion good for 23.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, sack.
Here's a give to Mixon. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and now it's 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Ready? Let's go now. Check, Bobcat, check, Bobcat, check. Ready?
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
70 rings.
Operating from the gun. Stroud. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
2nd down and 3 with right around 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Threes all around. Mixon. Touchdown. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter. That has them an extra point away from tying things up.
And, partner, this is pretty much what they envisioned when they were sitting there in the locker room thinking about getting things going to start here in the third quarter. Getting out there, a field goal would have been fine. But going ahead and scoring here, an extra point away from tying things up, that's exactly how they drew it up on the board.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Taylor. And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7. They run once more with Taylor. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They've got momentum on their side. They were once down 14-0. Now it's even at 14 as they look to put together a drive to get them the lead. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Stroud to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Collins. The slot man in motion right. On 1st down. Marks. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Back to throw. Stroud. That is caught. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball.
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Got his man, Dell. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Stroud. That's complete to Dell. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. Mixon with a first down carry. And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. They pick up 11 in addition to moving the chains.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Stroud working out of the gun. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And his guys have taken the lead. So what a comeback here. They looked like they might be down and out not too long ago, but they have rallied back to take a fourth quarter lead.
And I think we've got to give them nothing but credit for figuring things out on the fly, because mentally they were on the ropes ready to go, and they hung in there. They made some changes and adjustments, and that led to some big plays, and it turned this game on its ear.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 21-14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. For the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air. As we take you through some of the action from earlier, this secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. Richardson under pressure, and down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Richardson out of the shotgun. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, that's one as a quarterback when you put both hands on your helmet and say, I can't believe I just did that. If he puts a little more touch on that ball, the receiver's still running. Instead, it's just an incomplete pass.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Colts send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Holding offense.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
And Stroud now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Throwing now is Stroud. They'll let this go deep for Collins. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Just because you got the lead in the fourth, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
This offense so far on third down, they've been very good. 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Trying to stretch the field with Schultz. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is taken at the 23. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Richardson under pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. The Colts send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. So possession goes over here on the punt. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Mechie, the man in motion.
19 tight, 19 tight. Dragon 16.
Throwing on second down. Stroud. Mechie has it on his slant. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Looking to throw. Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. You take a look at his receiving numbers so far. He's been terrific. Up over 100 yards now for the game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff to Mixon. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Open man is Kirk, complete. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Stroud looking to throw. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. And now a stoppage. It looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
65, 65, 70 range, 70 range. Go.
They'll look to throw again. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got a 1st down following a pickup of about 13 as we will take a pause here for the 2-minute warning. The numbers throwing the ball have been great. He's up over 300 yards now for the game.
Trap ball 80. Go. Go trap. Go trap. Ready.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll give it to Mixon. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. And that touchdown's going to put him in double digits now for the year. It's his 10th rushing touchdown of the campaign. Extra point attempt to follow here. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. So the Colts now down by 2 touchdowns. 1:52 to play. Field goals useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. Richardson. That's complete to Pierce. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Richardson to throw it. Finding Pittman.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out to the...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. 56 yards. And the Colts have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Now Richardson. Out to his left. And he will get into the end zone, and a 2-point conversion will cut this down to a 6-point game. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though. Now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
To Inigo Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the home team here, they improved to 5-3 as they approach the halfway point of this 17-game schedule. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Colts, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.